Hello and welcome to the main Protagonist podcast. This is Pettry and I'm here with the Soul Eater sun laughing at my very existence, making my glass sweat more water.
I didn't catch any of that actually. Hello, I'm Casper. I didn't get that intro at all.
Oh, you're the sun from Soul Eater. You're just laughing away.
Oh, the sun from Soul Eater. My mind auto-filled that to sun, as in O.
As in a child.
I was like, wait.
Why would I talk about... Let's not get into that. We have to explain why we haven't recorded in a while, and that's very easy for me. Do you see this glass? Well, if you don't see it and you're listening to this, it's profusely sweating more water out of it. It's freaking hot in here, and I don't have airco. And airco is expensive, so it ain't happening. So, and even today, it's pretty freaking hot. It's just early enough that we can muster up courage to do it.
Yeah, the Netherlands has been hit by its first wave of heat waves.
Yes.
As these things go these days.
It's not even truly summer yet, and we're already like in the 30 degrees Celsius.
A few days. It kind of goes up and down the past few days.
Yeah, fair enough. We're now at 27.
Yeah.
Still hot. That's like...
You do have airco, but it's a shitty portable unit for your bedroom.
Yeah, and only for the bedroom. And it's going to stay there because I want to sleep at night.
Oh, you're not cleaning or clearing this entire room of the heat with that thing.
No, definitely not.
That is way too weak.
I also like this point of the script. How are we doing?
How are we doing? Personally, I'm doing pretty damn good, actually.
Yeah.
Diving season has restarted, so that's got me happy.
Yeah, I just got through a bout of illnesses and more body dysfunction, and well, here I am.
Yeah, that's another reason we haven't recorded. Pettry was currently dying.
I'm always dying, just at a slightly faster rate than everyone else. Luckily, I'm still stubborn, so I'm clinging to this mortal coil as long as possible.
Oh, and 1 week we couldn't record because I was actually in this very city, but not for you.
You swine!
I had to help a friend pick up a fountain. And that was...
Sorry, a what?
A fountain.
An actual real-life freaking fountain?
For his garden. But he didn't give me any instructions, so I thought like a little bird fountain. No, I came... I arrived at the location with him, and we walked into the garden. It's just massive concrete thing.
What did he expect you to do with it?
Well, you could kind of remove parts of it. It was built up out of separate parts, so take it apart and just load it in.
Okay.
But we ended up having to use the crane.
Okay.
So that was fun to move around. But that was another reason that we didn't record 1 week.
Yes.
So yes, a whole lot of setbacks. Personal, health-related, heat-related.
They're all in there.
And soon also, diving-related.
I just want to point out that we have this very basic script that we usually just whip as fast as possible. This time it was Casper's responsibility, and I just want to say excuses for delaying recording. Not as in, we need to, because in Dutch that would mean we excuse ourselves. And apologize, but as it is written down here, we're just making up excuses. Which, I'm telling you, this is not an excuse. It actually is this way. Just funny that way.
Man, just man up. Get over your health issues.
Yes.
Just record.
Your mental and physical health issues, they're just illusionary things.
Just record. It's was it, 32 degrees Celsius?
Oh, dear Christ. 32 degrees, and by the way, I want to remind people, my home is in the sun the entire day, so it gets like up to 42 degrees in here. Once again in Celsius, so that's like 100 plus in Fahrenheit.
Do you think those are ample excuses?
Yeah, okay, fine, enough.
Well, we do apologize for this being a little bit slapdash. We literally wrote this script just before it. We don't have headsets because I forgot them. And we didn't close the windows or the curtains.
Yes, and they're gonna stay open because that's the only fresh air we're gonna get. And I'm already almost sweating.
I'm already sweating, man. Look at me. Yeah.
We're a wreck. We're a wreck. but we're doing it.
Horrible conditions, but it won't deter us from bringing you the finest of anime nonsense.
The finest.
On that note, have you actually been watching anything that you remember between your delirious illness?
Yes, I just want to remind people that my short-term memory is about as good as it gets, and with that I mean the total opposite of that. If I watched something a week ago, I probably forget it, but if you ask me about 3 months down the line, I can recall any little detail, any minute little detail. So I'm just gonna get out of this document and I'm going to go to my AniList to check if I watched anything.
Shall I start then?
Well, I'm already there. I'm pretty sure I'll be fine.
Oh man, look at this speed.
I say that. Okay. Oh yeah, well, I've watched some The World Ends With You, the new one.
Yeah, how's that going actually? Because that was something you were exciting for.
Yeah, I really like the animation style. It's really spot on. They used a really thick animation lines for the outlines.
Nice.
The 3D battles are not too egregious. I mean, they're pretty close to the actual game in style, but it's just the standard janky low FPS kind of animation.
It's all CGI?
Yes, for the fights, that is. There are some scenes that are not, but yeah, I really am enjoying it. And this is where the point comes where I don't remember how long it's been. I've watched Slime That Again. I've been reborn as a slime.
Yeah.
I am not sure if I said that last time, yes or no. But if I did, I'm sorry. If I didn't, well, I've watched that.
I think you were planning to watch it back then.
Okay, I've watched the entire thing by now.
It has like multiple seasons, right?
Well, the new season that's out right now is more of a spin-off, I believe.
Oh, okay. Slime Diaries. I've seen that on
Yes.
AniList, actually.
That one.
I've seen the updates.
Yeah, I'm as the resident isekai hater, I enjoyed it. It was pretty okay, actually. It doesn't go into the overpowered aspect too much.
What would you say is actually what sets it apart from isekai that you hate? Is it that the characters aren't overpowered? Because it's like
no, not particularly. It's more of a diplomatic approach to this whole isekai thing. As in, he starts a village and he tries to build that up instead of just going after the demon lord. I mean, that's still a sub-goal, because you have to if you're an isekai, I suppose. That's just law.
Mm-hmm.
But it is less about him getting stronger and more about him building a community.
Okay, that sounds interesting, because that is how Overlord also kind of started, and then Overlord just went really off the rails. But
yeah, no, Overlord, he is more like a savior to these people. He doesn't actually actively try to build a community himself. He just saves them from being utterly annihilated by some fanatical retards.
Yeah, true.
So, I like Dataken a bit more in that regard, that it's just more of a diplomatic approach to the isekai genre in general. It's more like Log Horizon. I haven't watched Log Horizon, but I've heard about...
I believe you watched the first arc with me, actually. But you didn't finish it.
Oh, yeah, probably. I don't remember jack shit. I don't even... I know how some of the characters look. That's about it. But I believe it's more akin to that.
Okay, okay.
Have I watched anything else? I'm pretty sure I did, but... I was watching Tayotama with Rolf. Tayotama Kiss on My Deity. He's trying to think.
No, I'm just completely getting... when you say that, I just immediately think, oh my goddess.
Fair enough. No, this is far more shit. Also, also it sullied my memory, because this is one of those classical ecchi animes that I watched while I was 14. So they're in magical pixie land in my mind. Like, oh, this was pretty good when I watched it.
Oh, this actually comes up later. Be wary.
Okay. Just the short of it, the intro spoiled me, because you always see the studio that made it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I already regarded Tayutama as a shit ecchi from that season. Then I realized it was made by Silverlink.
Oh no!
That made me so sad!
I was about to say, it's a Beck, isn't it? But no. Oh no, it's Silverlink, your darling.
Yeah, I love Silverlink. On that regard, I also watched Yu Camp and the newest Non-Biori with you.
Hell yeah, man!
Hell yeah.
That was good to return to, wasn't it?
Oh, fuck yeah, I absolutely fucking adored everything about that.
I gotta say, Non-Biori Non-Stop was actually the best season we got this far. It was so
Yeah, I
damn
think
good.
so. There was actually more continuity between episodes.
Yeah.
Because normally it's just, well, hopscotch to the next episode. You don't have to watch the first one to understand the last one.
And lots of callbacks to earlier seasons that come back, like the plushes.
Yes.
Oh, the plushes.
and the freaking grass joke.
Yes.
Always. Are we living in the country? Looks to the left. Yeah, we're living in the country, all right.
But Eurocamp Season 2, it was alright, but it wasn't really as, shall I say...
Had a bit more agency, I think.
Yeah, it wasn't as charming as the first season was, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of first of its kind at that point, and it was really wholesome, and you had the introduction to this whole quote-unquote magical world of camping. But then again, the second season, there's little to no introduction, and there's just the characters being the characters.
Yeah.
And there's a little bit less depth to these characters as you maybe would have liked. So in that regard, it's just more of the same and less of less innovation or whatever you would like to call it.
Thank you for filling the void in my opinion there. That's actually very accurate to how I was feeling but couldn't express.
Yay! Yeah, I still liked it, but yeah, as I said, I think...
It was fun. It was definitely fun.
It was I would still watch 7 more of these seasons because I'm just a sucker for it. But it's just... You can obviously see that either the writer, the author, the director didn't quite have experience or the know-how to get more depth out of these characters. You just get more of the background characters just have a bigger role. It becomes more of an ensemble cast instead of being about the main 2 characters. And that's still fine, but the supporting characters are not being expanded upon. They're still just the supporting characters.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about Non-Non-Biyori more.
Yeah, Non-Non-Biyori was very good in that regard.
Yes, that's literally the polar opposite, as in every character is the main character. I mean, you still have Hotaru and Renge. Those get more spotlight, but all characters feel fleshed out and important to what is happening. There's happening shit all in that anime. Let's make that real clear real quick. But for what is happening, they all feel kind of important.
Bro, tomatoes.
Tomatoes. Yeah, just to drive the point home that I have a little bit too much attention span when I'm watching anime. They're making a tomato point because she has a tomato garden in this shot, and you just have to know it if you're looking at it. If you're looking at this and you don't know that's a tomato patch, you will not understand why she knows this much about... what's the right word? When you're a gardener, you're...
Agriculture?
No. Botanicum? Something like that.
Botany?
Yeah, botany. But...
Lobotomy?
No! You absolute dingle. No. Whatever the point, the name for it is.
Botanical practices.
Yes, let's just call it that. But
yeah, that's a good example of a shot that doesn't really overstate the joke. No. Which I think is a lot of problem in...
That wasn't even really a joke, I think. It's more of the small little character tidbit. As in, you wouldn't know that she had any interest in botany or plants in general unless you know what you were looking at.
Yeah.
So it's a fun little character building thing.
Yeah, I think Kaede slash candy store.
Candy store owner.
Got a lot of love in this season. That was really cute.
Agree. So have you been watching anything that was not related to this?
To these 2 anime that we watched together. Well, I insisted on putting it here, but I watched Arpeggio Blue Steel. And I was actually pleasantly surprised by it. I expected something akin to what I know of other like boat-related anime that are just kind of silly and weird. Like the one that you have the audio clip from, the boy.
Oh, boy! I still don't know what it is. That's Kentai, right?
I think that's from Kentai Collection, yeah. I believe I looked that up at some point. I expected something like lighthearted and fun, but it's like this giant apocalypse story, and like, oh.
Yeah, I know that. I don't even got this manga myself. It was in a what were they called again?
Oh, shite. Like one of those random boxes?
Yeah, a monthly random box, but the biggest one. Curiosity Box, I believe. I think there, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
It was with that, and it was the military team.
Oh.
And I was looking at this, and I was like, nah, brah. I got a Zaku from Gundam with it. A little model. Got a shirt from, I believe, Gate. I'm the most pretentious fucker in that regard. I have a shirt that is related to anime. Don't ask me what it's from, though. It has an emblem on it, and it's not Attack on Titan or anything else I would recognize, so I'm assuming it's Gate.
That's your con shirt. You wear it to anime cons.
Oh no, that's my cat scratch shirt. It has holes in it all over.
Pacquiao Blue Steel was actually pretty good. And also, full CGI is of course always kind of iffy.
Yeah.
I was expecting something like the Magnificent Kotobuki or Berserk, but it's actually, once it gets away from crowd shots and like the stumbling first few episodes, the CGI is actually pretty damn good.
Okay.
Boats do some weird ass shit, yo. Just the giant lasers, enormous cannons, rockets everywhere. That's when CGI really shines, so that worked really well.
Yeah, to be fair, I just have a bad impression of the manga and the anime itself.
Did you actually read that for
Nope,
you?
never.
Why was I expecting anything else?
Rolf kind of ruined it for me, because Rolf, he's dyslexic, so he always ruins everything. And it doesn't give it the full title here, because it's normally Ars Nova. There's and on the end. So Rolf always made a pregio of Ars Nova out of it. And since then, I just can't take it seriously. I just don't want to watch lolly boats. He wasn't expecting the lolly boats comment.
Fuck you.
So it means I'm right.
In some regards.
Okay, you know what? I
Yes.
don't want to expand on that.
No.
Anything else you've been watching?
Yes, speaking of lowlies.
Oh, god damn it.
Dance in the Vampire Buns.
No, Jesus, you went full on retard with that one, ain't you?
No, I wanted to actually review that, and also because I had an article in mind for which I needed it. Just
Questionable,
not-
because any content related to that is questionable.
Yeah, that wasn't really actually that spectacular. It's
Oh no, it's just kind of bad from what I remember. Once again, this is absolutely an anime I've watched when I was 14 and have a very bad recollection of.
It's not super spectacular or anything. It doesn't.
From what I remember, sorry for continuing.
No.
From what I remember, it seems to try and imitate Monogatari to a certain extent, as in monologuing and nothing really happening that much.
It is a lot of political discussion because the story is about a descendant of Flagship S who has come to Japan and hatched a scheme to purchase a large portion of land. And she is coercing the Japanese government into letting her declare it as an independent nation for vampires. So it has a lot of political to it, a few shocking things, but it's just a very weird black sheep in the Shaft lineup. Because it is made by Shaft and
that too.
And by Shaft.
So the men are good Monogatari.
Yes, absolutely. It's also Akiyuki Shimbo, yes.
Yeah, okay.
So it's kind of a black sheep. It wasn't terrible, but I was looking for stuff to kind of excuse its infamy.
Yeah, it's just
And
the
I
lowly
didn't
dancing bit.
I didn't find it.
It's just the lowly dancing bit that's infamous.
The lotion.
Yeah, the lotion.
The lotion scene.
I mean, it's banned in one of the Nordic countries. I don't know if it's Norway or Sweden, either or, I believe.
I don't know. It's certainly banned in China, though.
Yeah, dude came back with it from Japan in the manga, and he was instantly arrested when he came through security at the airport. They looked at it and they were like, "No, you don't get to have this in this country. To prison."
The prison with ye.
Yeah.
Just the other day, I finished I Don't Like You at All, Big Brother, or however they want to translate that. In some versions, it's...
Something along those lines.
Yeah, wait, it actually has the Japanese title here, and I know how much you love making me do this. Onichan no koto nanka zensensuki janai dakara ne.
Okay, that's just literally, I don't love you. I could never love you, brother. That's not I don't like you. I like it when Japanese to English translations are just being obtuse for no particular reason.
I have seen several translations of this because I don't like you at all, Big Brother. I don't like my Big Brother at all.
Yeah, but that's just assuming that you know the tsundere archetype. Because then that sentence makes sense. But if you don't, then...
Are you familiar with this, actually?
Fuck nah. It sounds horrible.
I read the manga at one point, but that ended up being like 95 chapters. And I was like, nah, I don't need that. But it's a very standard rom-com, ecchi fan service series about just a very standard perverted high school boy who has does all the standard things, porn collection, hangs out with his perverted friends.
Yeah, sounds about right.
His sister has a broken complex.
Of course!
And she's trying to kind of encourage his deterioration into more degenerate...
Degeneracy, complete.
Degenerate fetishes.
Okay, so this is just kind of like Kids Exist, but worse?
Yeah, I actually sent you a screenshot. They had a reference to Kiss Exist in it.
Oh, that wasn't that?
Yeah, that was...
yes, it also had a reference to Yoshigano Sora. I don't know how to feel about that one, though. Because Yoshigano Sora... I think... The more I think about it, the more shows seem worse than Kiss Exist to me. And that's a weird thing to say if you have seen it.
Kiss Exist is something you've been invested in for a long time, so there's a bit of bias there.
Yeah, but still... Just saying the plot points out loud makes it weird. I mean, let's be honest, what you just said, in contrast to Kiss Exist, where the twin sisters want to bang their stepbrother, but they're not forcing him. Ever. They're just making plays on him. And if he says no, they just fuck off for another chapter or episode. So, yeah, that seems a little bit less manipulative, I would say. In that regard.
The sister character is trying to encourage him to become more degenerate and also has the hots for him. Like in episode 1, she goes absolutely ecstatic when she figures out that she is adopted.
Okay, I should not have taken a drink there. God damn it. Yes, I'm adopted!
But she gets rivalry from returning childhood friends who has become a stalker. And...
Where's the yandere?
Do they have a yandere? They do not have a yandere character.
I don't believe you.
Maybe later in the manga. Because the anime is only 12 episodes plus a special.
Of course it is.
Anything else? No, mostly reading actually. I've read the Kodoku Experiment, which is something you might actually like. It's a very shonen action sci-fi story about... a scientist who is obsessed with the notion of the Kodoku experiment, which is, in its lore, I'm not sure if it's actually real, that they threw a whole bunch of deadly creatures together and to see which one would persevere and dominate the others.
I mean, that sounds pretty Japanese if you know about Unit 731. 13?
Ooh.
Either or. Doesn't matter.
This is not a touchy topic yet. No, but... she eventually comes into command of a ship, and when they come to a planet, they pick up a weird creature, and it accidentally... they think, oh, it's dead, but it's just dormant, and it unleashes in the ship and starts to infect other people who also turn into it, and just turns into a giant battle that she deliberately sabotages the counter to.
Okay, so that's just kind of like H.R. Geiger alien stuff.
Yeah, it is. It's... You could compare it to that, yeah.
Okay.
It's very, a bit of alien colonial marines.
Caught himself there. Calm down. Try it again.
Yes, it has a bit of the alien colonial marines vibe in there, with the soldiers all trying to fight this invasion while superiors are sabotaging them.
Yeah, I've read some things in the meanwhile. I've read Final Girl and your... recommendation.
Oh, the one shot.
Yes, the one shot.
How'd you like that one?
I actually quite liked it. Better than I expected, actually. Also, I just want to attend to you that you please don't drink above the tablet. Because you're dripping on it.
I felt a drop leave, and I wasn't sure where it went, so I was checking my pen, like...
Where'd she go? Yeah, Final Girl was actually pretty nice. Just to make the plot really short, this is a dude who's getting pretty tired of the basic worker 9 to 5 the attitude, and he gets isekai'd into a horror movie. And he is the girl that usually dies first, also known as the slut. And he tries to postpone his loose condition. Yeah, that was pretty fun. Pretty interesting take on that.
I like these kind of stories that have a silly concept, where you kind of expect where it will go, but they don't go for like the easy jokes and actually do something creative with it.
Also, one of the main dudes, the dude? How do I say this? The Chad.
The Chad.
The Chad that you see after he is isekai'd is obviously Ban from Seven Deadly Sins. It's literally the same character.
Oh, that's something I didn't catch. I didn't watch that.
I mean, I just looked at the art and I was like, this is the same dude. He has the same hair and everything, the same stupid smirk on his face. This is literally just... I would believe it if you told me that he just took a panel, cut him out of it and put him in his own manga and it's like, yep, a new character.
I made a character.
I made this. Beyond that, I think I've read some stuff. Questionable.
Well, we got my fucking curse right here on the table, actually.
Devilman.
Devilman Grimoire.
I'm just going to
I was
go
so
to my manga list.
Absolutely caught off guard by it.
Oh, yes, I've read... I'm not going to say the Japanese title because I hate the title, but the female knight who has never been treated like a female knight will be treated like a female knight. What the fuck is that title? Also, that's extremely boring and I dropped it after 14 chapters.
Actually, turn that to me. I want to see the Japanese title. I want to give it a try. Oh no.
There goes Arpeggio.
It's the top one, right?
Yes.
Imamada Ichido mo ona Atsuka saireta Koto ga nai Yoshiki wo ona Atsukai suru.
Yes. Yeah, no, I just hate it when titles are just this obtuse, this dumb. Yeah, that's just about a knight who... Well, the title just suggests everything about it. She's never been treated like a woman, and now there's a guy who treats her like a woman. And it's just... rom-com stuff with a fantasy world where the knight is...
Yeah, like we discussed in the last podcast in regards to Komi-san, there's a lot of these gimmick comedy manga coming out lately.
Yeah, and it's just more of the same every time. So I believe it says 14 here, but I'm pretty sure I read still like 23, and I was just like, I can't force myself to read the other 110 or something chapters of this. I've also started with Horimiya, which is more akin to Toradora in its storytelling. As in, they're two kind of outcasts from their school in their respective groups. And, well, they get together. And I
mixed up that title, actually, with the anime you mentioned last time, I believe, with the psychics.
Psychics or sidekicks?
Psychics. That you mentioned that they do the contest at the lake, that they have to look one way or...
Hinamatsuri.
Hinamatsuri and Horimiya. I got those two mixed up.
Horimiya also has an anime last season or the season before that. But I wanted to read the manga because the manga just finished. And I believe Horimiya, the anime, doesn't quite finish that season.
The usual...
Yeah, it doesn't really matter in that regard. But I... ran up against the fucking wall with this one. Standard comedy or romance anime stuff, manga stuff. It gets to the point where they're denying that they're in love, but they're in love, but they're also kind of in a relation, but kind of not. And it's just, come on, just fucking go somewhere with it. You're just being slow and obtuse for no particular reason.
Gotta get a few more chapters out of this.
Yeah, but this is not even halfway there. Not even a quarter way there. I'm on chapter 25 of 142.
So you dropped it, or...?
Oh, no. I'm still going to read it. I still like this, but this particular point in the story always irks me. And there are so many manga that don't do this. So I'm just kind of like, I'll just give it a month or two, and then I'll just blast through the rest of it. But before then, I'm just like, I don't really want to do this right now.
Understandable.
Let's see. I read Shochiku Tsukubus no Hanashi. I was trying to think of the English title, but I forgot. Let's see. Does it have the English title here? Tell me.
Probably somewhere. Oh no, we got flies.
Oh yes, definitely. Tales of the Corporate Slave Succubus. Beautiful title.
That was not what I was expecting.
No, it's the writer wanted to make some wholesome non-Nonburi shit, but he is really into drawing very succulent succubuses. So,
Succulent.
it's about the succubus that needs to harvest energy, and normally they do that by, extracting or plowing the shit out of men. And in this case, this dude was just like, no, I don't want any of that, just give me a good night's sleep. And she's just like, alright, I'll do that then. And that's pretty much where the entire... It's like Senko-san in that regard.
Okay.
The Helpful Fox Senko-san. It's pretty much that.
Is it like borderline hentai, or is it...
Oh, I mean, the drawings of the female, definitely. But it's... it's hard. How do you explain this? This is like your mom catches you with something and you have to explain yourself.
Okay.
Because in writing, it's pretty freaking wholesome.
Okay.
But it's just the drawings
In
that
presentation,
presentation is very sexy.
No, that's actually a very good comparison. I instantly understood what you meant.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's just Senko-san with horny women. Or hot women, I suppose.
Hot women.
Hot women.
Wham.
So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I guess that means we're on to Guilty Pleasure anime?
No. I'm not done with this, boy.
Nah, goddammit. Devilman Grimoire.
Yes. I did not know what to... I had different expectations, actually.
I was about to say, were you going to say I did not know what I was expecting while you were reading Devilman of all things?
It was sold to me as, okay, this is a modernized take on the Devilman saga, released in 2012 by a different author. I was like, okay, so it's like a modern version of the manga or a modern version of the TV series, but it's actually one big crossover between everything. It has a Devilman lady in there, it has Neo Devilman, it has the 70s TV show, and the original manga, but it tells a completely original story with those elements.
Okay.
And the original story that it does tell really fucks with your expectations.
Okay.
Like there's one meta thing that I really enjoy in this, and that's the start of the manga, the very first chapter, because it starts in medias res. And it starts with a woman who turns out to be a harpy, and she ends up in a fight with, well, you might remember from Devilman Crybaby, the giant turtle demon who steals faces.
Ah, yes.
Yes. And the meta joke is that this harpy was the first demon that appeared in the original manga. So as a reference, he wanted her to be the first demon to appear in this manga, but by making her fight this turtle demon instead of like Aemon, Akira, and Ryu, she ends up fighting this turtle bastard.
Bastard.
And it immediately kind of sets apart that it's very referential to the older content, and it knows its subject, but it's gonna do things very differently.
Okay.
And that's kind of the through line for the entire manga. It has a lot of references, but it tells such a good story with it. I ended up plowing through it in like a day.
Nice.
It has 5 volumes, and it's fucking rare. It went out of print.
Of course. I mean, who is the printer? 7 Seas. I don't even know that company.
7 Seas is pretty big, actually.
I mean, that's fine, but I literally, this is the first time I think I've seen them, and I have enough manga myself. So, I mean, I guess this one too. Arpeggio, but I didn't buy that. I got that.
No, it went out of print, and some chapters are still available, like 1, 4, and 5, perfectly available. 2, kind of a bitch. I had to order that from bob.com because it wasn't available in like the usual manga shops and such.
Yes.
The 3rd was sold out everywhere, except the Whoops in Utrecht. I literally went on the site for Libris, which is the giant book chain.
Yeah.
Every single establishment they have, like 138 bookshops, had that manga volume 3 at some point, and they no longer did.
Get fucked.
Get fucked indeed. But Whoops had it.
Good. Guilty pleasure anime?
Yeah, because that's actually what I wanted to mention earlier when we were talking about Taitama. You talk a lot about anime that you watched way back when you were a teenager, a horny little teenager. And you always talk about it with shame. Like,
oh no, not shame. Not shame. It's more
pure
like
embarrassment.
It is more like, I remember it, I've watched this, and it's definitely trash ecchi. I don't care that I watch trash ecchi. I still watch trash ecchi.
Yes.
It's just that when I go back at my list and I see it, I'm giving it a 6 or a 7, I'm like, yeah, I guess this would be like a 2 or a 3 at best right now.
Fair.
But sometimes I'm positively surprised, like Ladies vs. Butlers. I expected that to be utter trash. I mean, it's still ecchi trash. Let's get that straight. But at least it had some unexpected comedy.
Mm-hmm.
And that made me go, well, that actually is just pretty okay.
But are there more stories, like trash ecchi, and it's like 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10, fine, but perfectly fine. Are there ecchi series, trashy ecchi series that you would actually rate like in the 8 or 9?
Oh, damn. 8 or 9, that would be extremely rare. I don't even think I have anything from that time that has ecchi as a tag that scores higher than a 6 or a 7.
Doesn't have to be from that time. Can also be just modern time.
I mean, if we're going off a purely subjective, that's more the manga. I still really like Kiss Exist because it's just, that's literally the embodiment of guilty pleasure. But
Kinda handed that one to you, didn't I? I kinda handed you that one, didn't I?
But further on in the manga, it really actually sets a plot up. And pretty nice, but it's still degenerate as shit. I really enjoy it, but I'm pretty biased there. I don't really think there's a really good, purely ecchi show. I'm in the rare camp that really likes To Lover You the first season, but every other subsequent show, even the OVAs, are just straight up trash for me. Because the first one, it has the better animation, I think. It has the better setup to all the jokes. And all the ecchi is not too much in your face. I mean, the OVA literally starts with an opening where Lala is walking by and it's just her tits flopping up and down. That's not funny. That's just tits flopping up and down. Why do I care about this?
Why would you care about this?
Yes, indeed.
I wonder.
And To Lover You, the first season, at least had some modesty in that regard. I mean, it's still ecchi, degenerate humor, but that's the entire point of it. But at least it was not pointlessly ecchi for the sake of flopping tits.
Wise words, wise words. Yes.
Yes. I like To Lover You. What's more of a guilty pleasure?
There's a few that
I'm trying to think of a guilty pleasure that's not an ecchi.
Yeah. There's a few that are difficult because there are those series that are kind of degenerate, but they are very well respected, like Elfen Lied and Shuffle.
Yeah.
Those are kind of,
but
they're not really trashy. People kind of respect them because they do a lot really well.
Shuffle, the anime, at least, is a lot more modest. It's not really that much ecchi. I think there's one straight-on shot of tits in the uncensored DVD/Blu-ray release.
Yeah.
There's just one. So, and it doesn't even focus on that particularly hard. So, I don't really count that in that regard. I mean, the visual novel is a lot worse, but it's still not sex for the sake of sex, I think. Let's see. Elfen Lied. Well, Elfen Lied is Elfen Lied. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you about that one. I'm trying to think what more is a guilty pleasure that's not an ecchi. It's a hard one for me.
Well, if I'm permitted to actually name one that's actually hard hentai, that would be Space Battleship Agao Route, which is a sci-fi parody anime 4-episode OVA series. That has its hentai, but it also has just a very comedic plot.
Fair enough. Yeah, I really can't think of anything. I mean, Digimon is kinda a guilty pleasure for me. But only particularly the first 2 seasons. Because
Yeah,
they are not good. Let's be real
That's
here.
a very different type of
Guilty pleasure.
guilty pleasure. Yeah, that's childhood guilty pleasure.
Yeah, that's just rose-tinted spectacles.
Yeah,
But I still like it.
nostalgia is valid.
Yeah, Kiki, but that's not really guilty.
No. People
That's-
really respect Kiki.
Um,
Uncle Knights, maybe.
oh god,
In
no.
my case.
Yeah, I mean fair. I've kind of rewatched a few episodes now. It just instantly like, nah, this just isn't good, is it? Shinzo. Shinzo is a guilty pleasure for me.
Shinzo is really good.
Is it though? Bounce the other way.
I like it.
Yeah, here, there you go.
The animation does kind of fall apart in some places. That's totally true.
Yeah. Yeah, I really don't... I mean, I have a lot of guilty pleasures, but not on the top of my dome piece. I don't think I can recall anything that quick.
In case of ecchi, I'd say Mangeke-san to Assistant-san. That's actually a really fun, ecchi fan service series.
And if I just can shit on someone's the guilty pleasure, if you say Yamada-kun and the Seven Witches is one of your guilty pleasures, well, I hope you have a long, insufferable life. Because holy shit, that anime was bad. And it was sold to me as being a guilty pleasure anime. So, news time?
News time!
I'm just gonna hijack the first one. I'm not even going to click on the link. I don't want to know anything about this. Just the link to the article is Sonic the Hedgehog becomes a virtual YouTuber. No! Just no! Go away! I don't like that.
Fine, I'll do it. For the 30th anniversary of the series... Is it actually for the series? Yes, celebrating the 30th anniversary of the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Prestigious gaming series that it is. I actually had a...
Hard time saying that.
Yeah, there was a bit of a brain leak there for a moment.
Literally trying to think of any game that you actually liked. Nah, that ain't working.
No, 30th anniversary of the franchise. They briefly turned Sonic the Hedgehog into a VTuber with the work of... its voice actor, which is Junichi Kanemaru? I have honestly...
I have no clue, but that is his name.
I haven't played many modern Sonic games yet. But yeah, they...
Well, your chance is perfect now, because the 30th anniversary released Sonic Colors, one of the better ones.
Mm-hmm.
That's for PC.
Oh, that is actually nice. I heard a lot of good about that.
Yes.
What was it originally released on? Like
Wii.
Wii, yeah, that's what I had in mind.
Yeah, no, the PC release actually kind of makes me curious too for buying it eventually.
We don't have the advanced hardware available to play the actual clip of Sonic as a VTuber here. But you can look it up on Twitter.
I mean, I could
If you-
show it, but I just refuse to.
If you want to curse yourself with eldritch knowledge.
Yes. Well, the
So
next
for
one.
Pettry's good well-being, let's move on to something he does enjoy.
Neo, The World Ends With You, game's final trailer reveals a demo on June 25th. Well, I haven't watched the trailer, and I'm probably not going to. I'm going to play the demo, I think. Because I'm curious.
I can imagine. You've been hyped for that series for a while now.
Well, not especially this one, just in general that the series is getting any... I say series, but franchise technically, is getting attention again. Because I really think the first game is very well executed. It has a very particular art style and it was never expanded upon, which I think is a shame. I don't have any expectations of this new game. I just hope it doesn't drag down the quote-unquote good name that it has established. So that's why I'm not as much invested into this particular game, but more in the series itself. I am still going to play the demo, and if it's nice, well, good. I'm probably going to buy the game eventually then. I say that, but it's on PS4 and Switch, so I'm probably not going to buy it. I have both platforms, but I've just come to the realization if it's not on PC, I'm probably not going to play it. And it's Square, so it's going to get ported to PC in like a year or two.
No, Pettry, you're saying that wrong. They're first gonna port it to mobile, and then they're gonna put the mobile port on Steam, Oh no, they're gonna put it on the Epic Game Store.
Oh, in that regard, out of nowhere, E3 announced the Pixel Perfect remakes, whatever they were called, for the Final Fantasy games.
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
They updated the Android versions, and I was like, oh, an update for this, like, 10-year-old game. Nice. What is updated? We updated the logo to prevent confusion with the new ones. Ah, thanks. You made the logo uglier. Yay.
Hey, might I make you an offer, Pettry?
Oh dear, an offer.
Yes. If you can ramble this podcast together for a while, I'm gonna refill our drinks because this is going fast.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
So I'm just going to ramble on.
Yeah, just tell people about how great Square Enix is or something.
But they are... Okay, I'm not going to go into why Square Enix is shit. Let's just not poke that bull. The game is going to be released on July 27th and the demo on June 25th at 1 p.m. EDT. I have no clue what the time frame that is.
Actually a worldwide release? I hope my fix this up.
I believe it's a worldwide release. It doesn't particularly say. Switch in English and Japanese on July 27th. I say I'm going to play the demo, but I just realized the demo is already live. I should probably be playing that whenever I can.
Yeah. I was standing next to the fridge and I was like, wait, June 25 is in the past.
Yes.
A whole 2 days.
A whole 2 days. So I'm going to play that and I'll give my opinion about that in the next one, whenever that may be.
Post-summer.
Post-summer. I hope not.
The next ice age.
Final... Oh dear, I'm closing things.
You fool.
I am a fool. Where did it go? There it is. Loading, 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 loading. Don't care, Google, go away.
Well, this one's mine then, actually. Final Fantasy IX game gets animated series.
Well, that's just a shame, isn't it?
Why is that a shame?
It's just the weirdest standalone Final Fantasy that really falls out of tone with the rest of the series at that point.
Yeah, but this is actually an animated series directed towards children, like a younger audience.
Even worse.
I believe they're making it with like European cooperation with European studios.
Oh, it's okay. It's that kind of show.
I actually saw there. I believe they were working with a French studio to make this. Cyber Group Studio CEO Pierre Sisman. I'm just gonna pronounce that French to reaffirm my belief that it was a French studio.
You had too much S in there. It should be Siman. Probably.
Yeah, Paris-based.
Yeah.
These are the Frenchies.
Paris-based, please. I'm getting the most angry stare at me.
I am a filthy West Germanic heathen.
An Anglo-Saxon at heart. A true Gaul-hating... okay, I'll stop with the references. So yeah, there's literally no expectations from me for this.
I was tempted to reenact the intro to Rome Total War where you mentioned Gauls. Gauls. I hate Gauls.
I mean, everyone does. They're this day's Frenchmen. Who doesn't hate Frenchmen?
I like Asterix and Obelix.
I don't remember if that was actually French or Belgium. Either or. Doesn't matter.
I actually got a huge collection of Asterix and Obelix at home. Like the comic
me
book
too,
series.
and Tintin and Suske and Wiske and all that. Let's not get into...
Oh god, this is turning into a comic book podcast.
No.
Derailing.
And
but,
then... I have no expectations for this.
You have no expectations. I'm actually kind of interested.
Oh dear.
Because I am legendarily horrible at Final Fantasies. Did I ever finish a Final Fantasy game? I think I finished the first one.
Yeah, and that's...
On the NES.
Yes, I was about to say the most borked up shit game in the series.
Yeah, and everything else I've not been able to finish. Final Fantasy VII I tried and I laughed at the graphics and I couldn't take it seriously. I didn't like Cloud, so I stopped that. I tried 8, but that was a copy I borrowed, so I had to return it, and turns out these games are fucking long.
Yep.
I played 10 a little bit. Had other things to do though. I think I still have the copy at home. Yeah, I still have the copy actually.
I like our experience with 3. We were like, I don't know the exact circumstances anymore, but it was something akin to, let's race a Final Fantasy game. I've played this and can help you. Casper, in the next few days. Hey, I finished this dungeon. How much longer is the game? Are you on the lower continent? The lower continent? There is more?
I believe what we did there was that we took a dictionary and just opened it on the word, and then we chose a game based on the word.
Yeah. And probably we ended up with fantasy or something.
Yeah, something general, and that ended up with Final Fantasy 3 because you actually liked that one.
Yes, I still like that one. But I'm a sucker for Final Fantasy games. I've finished most of them, I would say. 1, 2, 3, 5, 7, 8. 9, I don't remember if I finished it, yes or no, but I know it didn't quite gel with me quite well.
You mentioned it when I started this bit. You mentioned that it's very standalone and different in style.
Yeah, and that didn't quite fall in line with what I was wanting to play around that time.
There are the flopping tits.
No! I finished 10, 12, 13, and some of the sub-games from those I finished 10 too.
I actually owned 13 as well for a little bit and just got fucking bored of it.
Yeah, and I have played a bit of 15. So I'm neck deep into this series. And you have the weird ones like Mystic Quest, Type 0, the sub-numerals. So yeah, I've played a lot of Final Fantasy.
Also, a reason why I'm kind of interested in this is because we, for some ungodly reason, decided to watch Final Fantasy VII, the movie.
Advent Children.
Yes. Again, I have not played Final Fantasy VII beyond the first hour.
I really like how we were watching it, and I was expecting questions about the plot, and he just glassed over. His eyes just kind of glassed over, and everything happened, and he was just like, yeah, I believe this.
I think the only part that I questioned was when I asked, hey Cloud, why are you collecting all these children, Cloud? Cloud,
yes, but that's more on a moral level.
Where are you leaving these children, Cloud?
And like seriously, the 3 remnants of Sephiroth are very obtuse, and he wasn't even like, who are these? What is happening? He just kind of glanced over, let it wash over you, and you were like, well, that was a movie.
Yeah. Hey man, I can autofill tropes. I see like 3 I almost wanted to swear, I can't say that. I see like 3 flamboyant fellows on...
I think the first word you were wanting to say also started with an F, didn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm not giving myself the F card.
No. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I see like 3 flamboyant fellows on motorcycles and like... these are very similar to the villain that I've seen stab the main character.
One of the main characters.
So I'm gonna freely assume that these are his children, his spawn clones.
Whatever.
Afterbirth, whatever. And,
yeah, no, the movie is not good, but it's a fun watch for all the wrong reasons.
I think you did a better job at selling me on Final Fantasy VII than the movie did, but I don't suppose the movie was actually trying to sell people on Final Fantasy VII.
No, if I have to sell Final Fantasy VII, I always say to say, please don't play Final Fantasy VII itself, just play Crisis Core on the PSP. That game is so much better.
Is that like a remake or
No, that's the prequel with Zack.
That's the prequel that I played a bit of
yes.
on my PSP.
With Zack. That game is pure fucking gold. But the Final Fantasy VII itself aged like beer.
I liked what you mentioned in regards to the relationship between the characters. Yeah. You specifically said they aren't friends. They are companions.
Yes, they're companions by necessity.
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy VII itself doesn't sell it that well because the translation team more so translated Japanese as and not the intentions of the story, which is I know a difficult thing to do, but it's still frustrating if you play the original 1 year later. And it's just, well, with modern RPGs, if you go back to Final Fantasy VII, it's just so slow. I mean, if you're going to play it, just emulate the PS1 version and turbo it up to 500% through everything. That's, I think, the better experience for that game.
It's a remake.
The remake is not even close to the original story. I mean, it still does it, but there's a lot of adage. It's just the first one. I'm not going to buy it unless it's released on PC, because this is going to be a 3-generational re-release. Because the remake is just the first disc. So the next one is going to be a PS5, but that's only going to be in the next 2 years. Well, by the time the third one rolls around, the PS6 is going to be a thing. So I'm just going to wait until they're all on PC and just going to play it then. I've played some of it with Robin on the PS4. And it's a pretty game. I just don't think it's that faithfully adapted.
Final Fantasy VII will be complete somewhere around the heat death of the universe.
Yeah. Whenever Tetsuya Nomura is done drawing belts on people. and being extremely obtuse with his storytelling. Because the original story is absolutely not by Tetsuya Nomura. And, well, he's adding his flair. Let's use the nice word. He's adding flair. And then, final news bit, up to you.
I did a stupid thing and I closed the wrong window.
Well, then I'll just say the title while you try to fix that. Netflix streams Sailor Moon Crystal on July 1st.
Yeah, Sailor Moon Crystal. We watched that together at one point, the first episode, when it started airing.
Yeah, and I've watched some more, and then I just absolutely stopped watching it because the intro annoyed me. Because there's a literal line in the intro, "We need no man to save us," and guess what happens in the first 5 episodes? They just get saved by the fucking same dude. Yeah, I couldn't take it seriously anymore.
Yeah, but I ended up since then becoming quite a big Sailor Moon fan.
I mean, I still watched the old one.
Watched the first 3 seasons, but then I saw that there was like a remake of the 4th happening, so I was kind of holding off on that for a while.
Fair enough.
I really fucking enjoy Sailor Moon.
Yeah, I watched the first one and it's just kind of standard, most of the week stuff. And the only character that has some character development, they just kill off. So, meh. And I haven't watched the newer seasons after that. Maybe it was here on TV way back when, but I don't remember most of it. So that's about all I have on Sailor Moon.
I actually went back and checked some things when I did an article about Dutch dubbing. And I'm happy to confirm that there's a Dutch dub of Sailor Moon Crystal as well. It doesn't have the fucking wonder that was the first attempt, though.
No. I do want to add that the Dutch opening is pure gold.
Pure gold. Delightful.
That's one of the only things that I will excuse the Dutch version of.
I am doubting if I want to see Sailor Moon Crystal on Netflix. On the one hand, it makes it very easy. Fuck off, Fly. Fucking hell.
It's buzzing around somewhere. Probably against something. Whatever, just ignore it.
Rude. Yes, I'm kind of curious about it in its totality now that I'm a fan of Sailor Moon. On the other hand, I still have to watch like the last 2 seasons of actual Sailor Moon.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, but Crystal is remake.
Yeah, it's a remake, but I'm just kind of doubting what I want to invest my time and energy into.
Not Crystal.
That is...
I've watched a bit more than you, and I just like... And I've already watched Sailor Moon before that, so I know what it's remaking, and I'm still like, not particularly well done. And that says a lot, because storytelling since the 80s has come a long way, and this doesn't do it particularly well, or better than its 1980s counterpart. So and it has some CGI, and I'm just like, I'd rather watch old blurry anime instead of CGI most of the time.
Oh,
especially when it's in an opening.
I think the original still looks quite fine, actually.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just...
Sailor Moon is 80s, right? It's like 90s.
I believe it was late 80s, the original season.
Ramble something together, I'll look it up for you.
89, I believe, whatever, and even then it's early 90s. It's still it's the same argument. It's
1991 to 1997, that's the manga, I believe.
Fair enough. So yeah, you were sending me a picture of someone who's selling a Sailor Moon French copy.
Did I?
Yes.
Oh.
Should I buy this? Absolutely fucking not. The SNES games are not to be bought.
Yes, now I remember. Yeah, I've actually been buying a bunch of retro games again. I'm kind of in that mood.
Yeah, I also just want to say to people he's buying the Japanese copies which he doesn't even have the capability to play, let alone read or understand.
Yes, but it's about the collecting.
As I said, if I can't understand it or play it on the actual consoles that it's meant for, then it kind of ruins the illusion for me. Because, hey, I have this worthless cartridge I can't do shit with. But I own it.
Yeah. I find value in that aspect of collecting. Like, you have a bunch of games that I'm sure you're never gonna actually touch, and if you're gonna touch them, you're gonna emulate them.
If I...
like a PS2 you might actually use, because you are...
Emulation is an actual whore for that.
You are legally married to the PS2, I believe, at this point.
Yes, but every game I otherwise own, I have either bought in a bundle with a game I wanted, or is expressly bought to be played. PS2 I still emulate a lot of. The emulator is getting better, but it's just more convenient. Because my scaler is a bit iffy, but that doesn't matter for now. But I always buy the version which I can actually play. Or understand, for that matter. Because I have some Japanese games, but those are not bought because I wanted them. Those were in a bundle. And I've actually sold some of them, because one of them was a shmup, and I don't give a shit about shmups. And I got a heck of a load of money for that one. So, that is fine. And most games that I haven't touched yet are still in the planning, but I have a lot of them.
That's where I come in. With my recommendations.
Oh dear.
Challenges, rather.
Challenges?
They're not a recommendation. They're me forcing you.
Yes.
But no, if you actually look at the things, we're jumping ahead. It's schedule a bit here, I suppose. But Chrono Trigger. I looked on eBay. Just a cartridge. PAL, €250.
Yep. There's no PAL version.
NTSC. NTSC in that case, yeah. This here Japanese version?
$13 was probably.
8.
So, 8. Yeah, it's worth jack shit because it was mass produced there, first off. But RPGs, buying them in Japanese is most egregious to me, because you literally don't understand shit about it.
No, but if I play them, I'd emulate them and I'd get a language patch.
Yes, but there is my elbow. That's my issue with it. Because in
the case of Chrono Trigger, you don't even need a language patch.
Yeah, but that's my issue with it. Because you buy the Japanese version because it's cheaper, and I get that, and but still... from a principle standpoint, it feels weird to disregard the effort that went into translating it.
Yes, but if I bought the NTSC version, I still wouldn't be able to play it, because I have a PAL SNES.
Yeah, or you buy it, on the virtual console and then just emulate it elsewhere.
Yes,
still own the game.
Yes, but virtual ownership doesn't really feel that spectacular.
Yes, but this is almost as hollow.
I wouldn't say so. It's a physical thing with art.
It's Square Enix. So it has a white background, some text on it. I don't get that particular part. And just in general, SNES collection is stupid to me, because it's extremely fucking expensive for no particular reason.
That's why you be a clever sot and you buy Japanese copies that don't cost anything. Do you remember a few episodes ago that I mentioned watching that sci-fi OVA, Gdleen?
Probably.
I now have the video game version of Gdleen in box and manual for €12.
I mean,
doesn't cost shite.
I mean, it's fine if you actually need to play the copy you buy, but I think it's kind of a bit of a hollow thing, because you might as well just buy the box with it then. Just have the box or print it out at that point.
Yeah, somebody was ahead of me there. There was a copy of Chrono Trigger with the box, but they sniped it away.
Yes.
Now I know how that feels.
Yeah, I still have a game that I want to buy, which I won't show you, because I'm sure you're going to buy it away from me.
You already mentioned it, and I already said I wasn't gonna do it.
You say that, but I don't trust that. It's Gregory Horror Show.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, I found a copy of that and I'm just like, I hope somebody else doesn't buy this. I need to have my the things in order to buy this. Yeah. No, I mean, I think you can play Japanese cartridges on European SNES.
It does fit.
But does it play?
I don't know. I don't have a retro tink.
Routine, yeah, fair enough. I mean, you can still get it on the TV downstairs.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, no. I just generally like to collect games that I can actually play. And that's why I sold most other platforms I had. I had SNES, I had N64, I had NES, and I was just fuck off. I'm never going to play this, and definitely not collecting for this anymore because it's far too expensive. I mean, I was lucky to get a Secret of Mana copy for like $18 back in the day. I think it sells for over 100 now.
Oh, nice. I got mine for 30.
Yeah, and then there's the PS2 games. I just keep a little bit of an eye on my PS2 games, what they do in cost department, and dear Christ almighty, and they got expensive. I got Blood Will Tell for $40. It's over 400 now on eBay. Jesus Christ.
As the young people say, stonks.
No, it's not stonks because I'm not selling it. It's just the value that increases. I mean, a lot of PS2 games have been getting expensive as shit. I mean, Silent Hill 2 even is getting expensive.
Yeah, I actually sent you a picture there because I was looking for like an old movie tie-in game that I had for the Wii and I wanted for a decent console, so I looked for the PS2 copy. That was like 20 euros. Like a fucking movie game, 20 euros.
Yep. Everything is getting expensive for the PS2, but it's also now the time that the PS2 actually gets retro, as in the people who actually played it, well, they're actually young. I mean, I was between, I believe, 7 and 14. Well, it was really prevalent.
Mm-hmm.
And I always had a soft spot for it, but the actual people that now have very disposable income want to collect for it, and that's when the price skyrockets that, and the pandemic is affecting the prices also a lot.
Maybe that pulls together now that things are opening up again.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to get far cheaper because scalper culture is getting more and more of a thing.
Yeah. I actually have my first few trips planned again.
Okay.
I'm heading to Tomocon at the first available event, which is 3 days after my second vaccination.
Yay.
Timing.
Yeah, I can't get vaccinated yet because every time I put in my information, it gives me a location at least 30 kilometers away from me.
And I'm actually popping into Amsterdam next week, partly for what's it called? Like an event in the Rijksmuseum.
Ah, okay.
But after that, I'm also just gonna pop into the ABC and the Game Over.
Yeah, I'd like to go somewhere again. I haven't been anywhere for a while.
We really should go to Dordrecht again.
Yes, and I want to go to Germany whenever that opens up.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna do our vacation.
Yeah.
But before we do vacation, what games have we been playing? We've just been going off on a tangent here, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I've been playing.
Have you finished?
Except for the challenge. The challenge I definitely finished. Easy.
Have you finished Smite already?
Yes, I've played all of it. Yeah, I've played a lot of Smite. I've played a lot of Bloons, as usual. I actually finished Raw Danger with Rolf. That game is just pure gold. Also impossible to actually buy. The PAL copy is over 400 euros right now, and there are like 5 of them on eBay. I have played... Ah, dear, what have I played more? I've played a lot of little things here and there, actually, but it's been a while, so it's a bit hazy. I'll just open my Steam in the background.
Well, I have been playing...
Fallout New Vegas. I'm playing a lot of Fallout New Vegas again.
Ah, just revisiting it? Or modding it to...
I'm modding the ever-living shit out of it, as usual. And I'm playing TTW, which is a Tale of Two Wastelands, which makes it so that you can play Fallout 3 in the Fallout New Vegas engine.
Oh, that is interesting.
Yes, also far more stable.
Ah. Oh, fuck, I have such a grudge against not Total War, no, Fallout 3.
Yeah. Just a tidbit of information. Every platform that sells Fallout 3 is selling a broken version. Because there's a little fix in the ini file, which literally is changing one character, that would fix it. But every distribution platform doesn't do it.
CPU
Maybe
threats.
GOG, but Steam still distributes the shitty version from 2008 without the change.
Yep.
So
CPU threats.
Yes, if you have more than a dual core, it will crash. Guaranteed. Which is fucking stupid, because at this point I have a 24-core CPU. Whatever.
Best I can do is 2.
And if not, I'm going to die. I've played some Left 4 Dead 2. Some Neo 2.
Nice, I've seen you play that, yeah.
And some Forza Horizon in the background. But that game is getting on my nerves again, so I'm probably stopping that again. Other than that, I'm not sure if I really played anything.
I went and dedicated myself, and
Thank you. Sorry, I had to.
I went Sasagio on Disgaea 5.
Oh dearie.
Because I have a PC version, I have it on the Switch, and I have played every Disgaea game besides it, and I fucking hate Disgaea 5.
Fair enough.
It's difficult for me to say, because I'm so invested in the series, but it feels like the grinding in Disgaea 5 is just way more bothersome. It's felt like every time I got a little bit further, I had to grind for like hours, and you do so much. You have a torture chamber where you torture demons and you get stat buffs, you got crystals that give you stat buffs. Units rank up now automatically, so you don't have to reincarnate them to get the next tier of their class. There's so many things that make you think like, wow, I am super powerful. And every mission is like a struggle. Enemies are just instant killing your units. Everything is defensed to all hell. It never feels like you're that strong, unless you use exploits.
Yeah.
And even if you use exploits, I ended up being like 80 levels over-leveled for the final boss, and I still lost most of my crew, including poor, tragic Pettry.
Oh, I died.
Yes, who was a warrior who literally wore the same color shirt you're doing now, and everywhere he went, he boasted about his muscles.
Okay, I don't do that, but other than that, pretty close.
Yeah, I actually sent you a message on Discord. Hey, do you want to kill the final boss?
Yes.
You said yes, and
Then I died.
then you died, and I had a Prini do it.
And that's just insult injury to my ego.
Oh no, I finish every Disgaea game with a Prini usually.
Yeah, but that's still insult to injury. Literally the unit that, if it's touched, it will explode. It is miserable. Its life doesn't mean anything in the grand scheme of things. Pettry dies. Pretty!
I ended up being somewhat interested in the story. It pulled itself together kind of well, but a lot of it is just very fillery, slow-paced,
Yeah.
nonsensical in parts. They literally do this bit where they do like, my friends, give me power.
Oh god. Fine, Shaman King, bullshit ending, old anime, yeah.
And they all lend him their superpower, but their superpowers are often utility powers. So I'm like,
Yay!
yeah, what's he gonna do with this free map-wide buff and this seduction power? Is he gonna seduce the final boss?
Stukky wucky. No. Well, I've played one other game, but that's more important for the challenge.
Alright,
So-
yeah, we're gonna save that for a bit, and I've also just been continuing with Stardew Valley. That's very wholesome to return to. And I have finished one other thing, I believe.
Let me scratch me noggin about that.
Machinarium.
Machinarium.
Machinarium, yes.
Yes.
I really like the style of that game, just the aesthetics of its world, the
Yes.
characters, the interactions, that's adorable. But a lot of its puzzles are just the kind that really tire me out.
Yeah, fair enough.
Like you just go to a door and you're like, okay, I'm gonna open this door, and it opens
Nope.
up some abstract metal art piece, and you're like, I'll figure out what this does then. And there are clues, you can
Oh, yeah.
puzzle it together, but if everything I try to do opens up a new screen with some alien device, and it's like,
Fine.
I like the early part where you have just, like, the first few screens are just
But is it...
point and click, puzzle click, point
Is
and
it
click,
kinda-
logic puzzles.
Yeah, I was about to say, is it more logic-based or is it the obtuse bullshit that Sierra liked to pull?
It has, it does keep that point-and-click vibe that you like combining items and such. That does stay there, but it focuses a lot on these, what I mentioned earlier, just these instanced puzzles that you gotta figure out, like what pattern to move things in.
Okay, because the Sierra more like, here, have a pantyhose and a key, and now you swing them together and you use it as a club. Why? Just the Y combinations of items.
There were a few puzzles where I opened up the screen and look at the things, and I notice that I'm sliding them, and if I slide them wrong, they get stuck. I'm like, I can potentially fuck myself on this puzzle. I'm not gonna do this. Just grab the walkthrough and just look at that.
Yeah, fair.
Besides that, do you permit me to go off on a rant about Total War?
Ah, Christ. Well, sure.
Total War Warhammer 3 is on the horizon, which means that Total War Warhammer 2 has been uninstalled from my computer for the first time since I bought it.
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to it. There's a lot of speculation now about what the new races are going to be. They're wondering if it's going to be Ogre Kingdoms or the Chaos Dwarfs. Lots of discussion about that. I switched to Total War Shogun 2 for the meantime, which I never finished a campaign in. That's very difficult. That's a very tricky game.
Yeah.
It's kind of stuck in the middle ground between what I mentioned, Rome Total War and Medieval 2, where you have a lot of options and can pull a lot of shenanigans. Have lots of historical units. It's grounded in that historical bit, but it also has like the beginnings of a few of the modernizations that would come later in the series.
Yes.
I'm enjoying it, but it is a very difficult in-between stage to get used to.
Fair enough.
Like, I hate, the one thing that I hate about the game is that if you group units, I like grouping units. Like, okay, you're gonna be on that flank, I want to keep you guys together, I put you in a group.
Yeah.
If you just select units, you can just click and drag formations and it works perfectly fine. If you group them, this entire side panel opens up with like the flying crane, the roaring dragons, all these different formation types.
Oh dear, yeah.
And you just gotta click between them to see what it does, and when you do that, sometimes you just can't click and drag anymore.
So there's no visual representation of the actual formation.
No,
you just have to click and hope it does something.
Just a pretty picture of a tiger.
Ah, for fuck's
What
sake.
does the tiger do?
Oh, I don't know. Okay, that's kind of bad.
So it's kind of like this mental balance between I want to keep things grouped so I know where my units are supposed to be, but if I group them, then I have no control over how I place and drag them.
Yeah, fair enough.
So do I want to go empty-handed and just messy, or organized but not sure what I'm doing?
Yeah, fair enough.
But one thing that's been bothering me about Total War in the run-up to the new release is just how fucking panicked the community is.
Oh, yeah, I think you said something along these lines in the previous one.
Yes, Total War community has this thing where they're just very panicked about outrage.
Oh.
They have, like every time something happens, like a new announcement, like memes pop up about all the people that will hate on the announcement, even when nobody is complaining about these things. And this past week they went a bit overboard. Because they had figured out, that's going to be a theme for the trailers. Because all the trailers this far have been the Khorne Demons versus Kislev.
Okay.
And they were like, okay, then it's going to be the Nurgle Demons versus the Tzeentch Demons. Because they have a bit of a rivalry going on.
I can honestly say now that I know what Khorne is.
Khorne.
But not from the original Warhammer, I know it from 40k, of course. Hey, that kind of makes sense to me.
Sorry, I meant that they were going to do Tzeentch versus Slanesh. And then I figured like, what's left then? Oh, it's Nurgle and Kaffi. And Kaffi is based on like China.
Yeah.
And like, Nurgle, that's sickness and plague. And they're going to pull parallels between Corona. And they were posting like...
Oh, for fuck's sake.
They were preemptively mocking the outrage that would ensue from this hypothetical scenario that there would be a Nurgle versus Kaffi trailer. Based on their hypothetical idea that all the trailers were gonna have themed rivalries.
Oh, for fuck's
and they
sake.
were already preemptively mocking the people that would be angry at that.
I just see people reaching for stupid things just to be angry. Yeah, that seems particularly dumb.
And there is a lot of infighting in the community. Like with every announcement, it's like this new roster. Where's this unit? Why did they put this? This roster is gonna suck. Like, fuck off, man! Nobody's played a fucking game yet.
Nobody has the game yet. What do you mean? Yeah, I get that. I mean, I'm usually not that. You're far more invested in the community aspect in that regard, because usually if a game releases that I want, I just watch the trailers and I don't even want to know what people are saying about it, because, you know, I like Kingdom Hearts. You don't want to know what a Kingdom Hearts fan thinks, because that's just Nomura is a king amongst kings. No, he's literally a mediocre writer. Just calm down there.
I think the average Kingdom Hearts community, when a trailer released, they get a bloody nose and they start drawing up their next yaoi projects.
That and bloody the tear across the face, like, oh, I'm so edgy because the dark teams in Kingdom Hearts are so extremely shallow.
Oh, they speak about the darkness, and everything is darkness. This reflects me.
Oh god, yeah, no, this is exactly the reason why I usually don't associate with fandoms.
This speaks to me on an intrinsic level.
Okay, you better stop speaking now, because I am about to place a knife between those ribs. Yeah, no, I'm not invested in fandoms at all. Usually, if I want to know what someone thinks, I'll ask you or Rolf if it's anime or game related, because there is actually a coherent opinion coming out of you guys instead of random rambling.
I do appreciate that. A friend of mine actually reached out this week and he just suddenly asked, "Yo, could you watch Talentless Nana and tell me what you think about it?" I am honored. I will.
Yeah, that's usually my take on it as well, because you or some other friends of mine, because I'm just like, if I'm going to look at people who actually watch this, it's obviously the vocal minority. But they're always just raving and ranting, and I'm just like, calm down, it's an anime. There's just some things I want to discuss. Nope! I need to viciously defend this, because I'm vocal about it.
Yes.
It just kind of rubs me the wrong way often, so I usually don't even associate with anything coming close to fandoms.
You can say these things, products are my personality.
Oh, fine.
I was anticipating if I was gonna get kicked under the table or stabbed.
Oh no, I'm literally too sick to do that. That would hurt.
The satire was apparent enough.
So let's get on with the game challenges then.
Yes. How did you like Alien Hominid? How do you like me punching your microphone stand?
Oh, my soul is connected
no.
to... God damn it. Just... Okay, first off, I cheated.
Oh.
Because you said Alien Hominid. You didn't specify which version, so I played the GBA version.
Nice.
I don't know if it has less content than the disc-based consoles, but that doesn't really matter for now. I also finished it literally after recording our last episode. I've done it on every difficulty. I've replayed the game about 8 times. Just to make sure that I squeezed everything of shitty content out of this, because it's a freaking beat-em-up style of game, and I despise those.
Wasn't my first challenge also for a beat-em-up game? No, that was your backup idea.
Yeah, that was the backup. Just as an idea about my personality, if I hate something, I need to know everything about it, because it annoys me. I need to make a valid point about why I hate it. So I have to know everything about it. Although Alien Hominid wasn't too bad, it's just a Newgrounds Flash game gone to the consoles. It isn't particularly bad, but it doesn't really do anything special either. So yeah, I finished it on all difficulties.
Alright.
Only if I have to say something that's frustrating about it are the space stages where you fly around, because first off, the controls are a bit weird, and it's pretty much asteroids, as in you fly around and just shoot stuff. It feels a bit shallow and very devoid of any fun. It's just trying again and again and again until you blow up whatever you need to blow up. And on the harder difficulties, they just blow you up that fast, so fast it really doesn't feel fair. You have to have a very specific strategy to win at all. Yeah, it's just an alien who crashed on Earth and the FBI is trying to get him. It's not very interesting in
That's how I remember the Newgrounds game.
Yep, that's about right. So yeah.
Yeah,
What about you?
That's definitely 5 points at least.
Yeah.
That's definitely completion in the most literal sense. Was that a long game actually?
Oh no, I literally finished the same day as we recorded.
Nice.
I just ran through the game.
You recommended or challenge me again, recommending.
I was actually thinking the entire podcast. My brain is slow today, so I was really like, "Wait, what game did I challenge you to?" And it just dawned on me which one it was.
Vikings, Battle of Asgard.
Yes.
And you did that after consulting with the council on what would be an appropriate punishment for me. And I think you kind of missed there because it's not a spectacular game, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
it's like
look, this is the big issue with the council. If I want to recommend you a shitty game, you're just gonna drop it because I know you. So I need to find this very fine balance of it being shitty enough that it would annoy you, but good enough that you wanted to play it. And that balance is almost non-existent. And Viking just looked absolutely asinine in every video I've seen about it.
Yeah, it's a bit of an open world, semi-open world. You don't have too much freedom. Hack and slash action game where you play as a dude who has to start up a Viking army to fight back against evil underworld forces. It has a bit of mythology worked into there, which...
I mean, I'd fucking hope so at that point.
Yeah.
Jotunheim! Probably, right?
I don't...
I already don't remember.
You were on an island, but I forgot the name of the island.
Well, the Earth is Ymir. So an island would be something else.
But you are Freya's champion, and she brings you back to life after losing the battle. And from there it's just very early PlayStation 3 action game.
So it's a very shitty God of War is what you're trying to say.
It's open world, and it doesn't do like super combos, but
it's mythology based and it's a hack and slash.
Yeah.
So it's a shitty God of War.
But what I like about it is that you just kind of go around, you pick up quests, you do things, you find collectibles, you prepare for the big battle, and every big battle is actually just this giant clash. We have troops all around. If you go to the base alone, you get completely fucking butchered. They don't stop you from trying, but
fair enough.
It's tough going.
But the important question here is, did you actually finish it? Because the last time I heard you talk about it, your PS3 was shitting the bed with it.
Yes, I tried a few more times, but the battles get so enormously huge, like easily like 1,000 versus 1,000 individually moving soldiers with dragons and siege equipment and magic. The PlayStation 3 does not want any of it. It fucking freezes. And I checked around, and other people were saying that it froze as well for them. It does not fucking want to be on the PlayStation 3. Now that there's a Steam sale, I may try to snoop up a copy on the PC.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, for me, I still have that running Digital World Challenge. And I've tried a few things again, and I'm just like, no.
It's just not coming together for you?
It's not coming together in any entertaining fashion I could make videos about. There's just so much information you can talk about before returning to a grind. And that's just not very interesting to watch at all. Mm-hmm. I can make a very short video that's edited about how to play the game. That would be more interesting than actually making a let's play about this. But on the other hand, there is a quote-unquote spiritual remake, redigitize, which I'm playing a bit of on the Vita, and I also own it on the PlayStation 4. Incidentally, the only consoles it's available for, so you can't play it on the PC. But that's actually a spiritual remake. And I wanted to play a bit more of that to see if it alleviates a lot of the issues with which I have with the original one. Mm-hmm. And if it does, I would intend to make a let's play of that. But that's I'm trying to get down to that this week. If then I would continue the let's play of that game, because that's actually still available. So other people...
Relevant?
It's relevant. You could buy it on the PS4. I'm not saying the Vita is relevant. That would be a lie. But you get the point.
It's relevant in my heart.
Also, the remake really pulls on the strings if you have bought the original or played the original one, because you literally start in a fight with the final boss of the first game with the boss music in it.
Oh, you've shown me that once.
Yes, that's amazing. And I actually want to play more of that. And I've just come around to on the Vita at the point where you actually can play the game. So I'm going to try to do that. If I can get entertaining content out of that one, I'm going to complete the Let's Play from that. From that game, from the re-release. Otherwise, consider Digital World just dropped because it can't be made interesting for a Let's Play.
Alright, we're gonna see how that turns out.
Yes.
Do you have a new challenge in mind?
Sure, I have a few.
You have a few, you have... Okay. Unload.
Well, we were talking about Fallout, and I can't remember you finishing Fallout games.
I have Fallout 1, I believe. I have Fallout 2, I think. I have 3, which I have beaten. I don't know if I have New Vegas. And I don't have 4 or 69.
Well, you're gonna get New Vegas down. Sorry, which one did you say at last? Repeat?
That's the name, right? Fallout 69 or something?
76!
76.
You horny bastard! You horny bastard!
I legitimately did not know the number. I just thought that was it because I hear people say it a lot.
Well, if you, of course, if you don't have Fallout New Vegas, then fucking buy it. It's on sale right now. It's like $10 for everything. Yeah, New Vegas.
Alright.
And what's it for me?
Do you like monkeys?
Ape Escape?
No.
Oh dear, what more has monkeys?
King Kong the Game for the PS2, which is a old favorite of mine in the first-person shooter genre.
Yeah, oh god, a transitionary time game. Also known as on the PS2, it runs on a solid 5 FPS. Because it's an Xbox 360 game.
I don't care how you'll make it work.
Yeah, I'll make it work, alright. I don't know, do you know the YouTuber they call me Kevin? Comedy game YouTuber, yeah, it doesn't really fit your tastes. But he did a quote-unquote Let's Play of the King Kong. That game is a fucking shit show.
I liked it.
Oh, I mean, I'm not shitting on your... if you liked it or not, but the game was super glitchy for him. He couldn't get an episode through without everything fucking up and having to restart the console.
Oops.
But I'll get through it. I'll probably make videos on it because it...
I remember it playing pretty damn well on the GameCube.
I mean, I'm still going to play it and I'm probably going to get angry at it. I don't even know. Do I own it on the PS2?
I don't know. I just kind of assume you do.
I mean, it's not a game that I would actively look for. Nope. But I'll emulate it. Because that was the plan anyway. I can record it that way. So I'll make a Let's Play from King Kong and you will play.
Oh, you don't have to Let's Play it.
I'm going to Let's Play it because that game is going to make me angry, probably. Because I hate first-person shooters on consoles in general.
Alright, well, you shoot yourself, man.
Yep,
you do that.
I'm going to do that. On to the touchy topic.
Yes, to end this podcast on. Is the ending to a series paramount for the complete enjoyment of the series?
For me, yes. I hate it when I'm just getting bait and switched in the end. Like, the story could have ended there, but we chose not to. Because we can make more money. I mean, with Perpetual series, it's not a problem. Non-Bury is the perfect example. That just keeps going, because that's kind of the point of the entire show. But if Erased would have ended with an open ending, I would have fucking murdered something.
That's fair. It's not suited for every story, but at the same time, a lot of people will say that some series are ruined by their endings, like Soul Eater and such.
I mean, Soul Eater is it's not ruined, but it really leaves a bad aftertaste in contrast to the rest of the show.
Yeah, I'm fine with critiquing that, but I think it's a bit shallow to look at a series you've been watching
purely by the ending, but that's...
discount your entire enjoyment of the series based on the last moments of it.
Oh no, I usually do that out of just to be wacky, not wacky, just to be the annoying one. Just say like, it's shit. But I mean, Soul Eater is fine for the most part. It's just that the ending is just kind of, it's a Bones ending.
Religion is joining us for this podcast again, by the way.
Yeah, usually is. I usually overstate it. I'm usually fine with it, but bad endings get on my nerves, and especially if they're perpetuated endings. Just an ending that should have been coming, but there's a next season, so we're not going to do it.
Well, we kind of come from like an era of where a lot of anime was like buy the manga endings.
Yep.
Just just gonna end it here, mate.
Good luck.
Buy the books.
Shaman King. Good luck. To be fair, we also come from for the time that anime wasn't 64 a season. There were just like 5 to 12 shows a season, and most of them actually ended. Usually,
in some way, yeah.
Usually, and not the. So I don't think it's entirely the same contrast.
Speaking of our era, actually, like Elfen Lied is another good example of a series that some people will say that the ending completely ruined, but
I just think the entire show is just kind of wacky and dumb.
You are wrong, actually, but I'll let this
Why am I dumb about a random super soldier being castrated?
You are wrong, not dumb.
No, your opinion is wrong.
No, I don't think it is actually. No.
He says, closing his eyes, having a giant smile on his face, and knowing damn well he's wrong. But he's going to die on this bridge.
Elfen Lied is fantastic.
I mean, as a pure entertainment, stupid piece of work, yes.
Yes, and don't let that be ruined because the ending.
Oh no, but
required you to use your brainy bits a little bit more.
The point, that's not the point I'm making for Elfen Lied. Elfen Lied, the entire story is just wacky and dumb. And it just kind of looks for extremes for no particular reason. Because I rewatched it a year or two ago and I was like, I almost forgot that they were family. They're trying to be incestuous too.
Well, one of them is.
Yeah, fair. The other one is just your standard anime dunce.
You talk about extremes in Elfen Lied, and one thing that I'm always reminded of is when the super soldier Bato, when he gets his arm and like a nurse or an assistant walks behind him, he's like,
he just fucking decks her.
Fucking decks her. Like,
don't walk up behind me.
And just the thought this super soldier would just like, oh dear, gave me a fright.
You gave me a big fright. Yeah, no.
Elfen Lied is fun, but
Elfen Lied is fun. The story isn't particularly good, but it's still fun to watch. But I think,
like, put a counterexample would be Matlax, which I just finished with my other friend that I watch anime with on Mondays. We were left in the dark with that anime for so long, like at least half the runtime, had no real clue what it was even going to try and be about. We were like, okay, this is kind of interesting, but this whole mystery it's trying to do, that's going to be very dependent on if the ending actually wraps it up real good. Then the final few episodes did get more generally entertaining.
Yeah.
So that was also a nice plus, but that first half of the show I was really doubting, like, oh man, did we just start something really bad?
Yeah, the issue, or I kind of have a similar issue with Serious Experiments Lane, as in it isn't very confusing what it's about, but it's just there's not a lot of substance in the storytelling department. You're watching Serious Experiment Lane and you're just, where's this going? What is the driving plot line? There really isn't much.
Yeah.
It has a narrative, like an undertone, but it doesn't really have a main plot line we're working towards. And that's still good. I mean, it's an experiment, and I think it's a good experiment. I really like Serial Experiments Lane, but it's not your default storytelling. So your expectations there are really... You're just sitting there after episode 11 even, and you're just like... is happening? What is going on?
Am I enjoying this?
I am not sure. I understand what it's trying to say and what it's doing, but I don't know why we're working towards it.
I think there's certainly shows that are very dependent on their ending, especially shows where you were very like on the edge of enjoying it, like a big maybe shows.
Yeah.
But in general, I think that's just the moment-to-moment fun of an anime should also be appreciated, not just the ending. Even if the ending is going to be what people talk about the most.
Ah, but that's fair. No,
we forget the hilarious example, of course, which is Evangelion.
Oh god. Oh, top one rijen. Gunbuster.
Gunbuster.
Ah shit, budget is done. Black and white it is.
Black and white it is.
I fucking died when that happened. I was like, is this an artistic choice? No, the budget is just gone, Bo. It's black and white now. God damn it.
We don't have time for artistic choices until we do Die Buster.
Yes. No, I do think an anime is really to be enjoyed by its moment to moment. But I think a bad ending really contributes to the general impression that an anime leaves.
Yeah, totally.
And there are very good examples of what not to do. Soul Eater is a brilliant example, and the original Full Metal Alchemist. Although
I still want to watch that, actually.
I'm one of the weird ones that say that the original Full Metal Alchemist ending is better than the actual canon manga ending. I enjoyed it a lot more in the anime.
Is the canon manga ending also the ending that we got in Brotherhood? Okay,
yes.
Yeah.
It's still okay. It's more of the ending you expect to work towards, but the ending of the original is so freaking out there, but also kind of works in the plot that you're like, okay, this is kind of enjoyable in a dumb way, in an elfin lead way. Which is weird to say if you're thinking about Full Metal Alchemist, because the entire show is very narrative driven and very well based in its world, and then you get the ending which kind of just throws that out of the window. But that's fine.
Yeah, endings are pivotal in leaving the impression. That's probably the first thing you're going to be reminded of when you think back to a series you've watched a long time ago.
Probably.
But shouldn't be too dependent on it.
No, I think the same.
Like, there are a few series that are still people getting riled up over it because of how it ended. Even outside of anime, like Game of Thrones, people are still fucking mad about that. And
yeah. To be fair,
I don't have the context to argue with them, but
yeah, to be fair, I think there's more at stake if you're watching a show for literally 10 years, and then the ending just kind of fucking falls apart.
Mm-hmm.
But usually that's not the case with anime. I say that, but Bleach is a good example of exactly that. But that was more from a forced perspective.
I got Attack on Titan.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm still not there. Still need to read the manga of that.
I wanted to argue, like, do you think My Hero Academia is getting a Bones ending? And while I was forming that thought, I was suddenly reminded that the Attack on Titan community recently got an uproar.
Yeah, but that's because of the manga, not because of the anime. Fair.
You still get, like, every week you get a new post on any list of somebody that finally caught up to the manga. It's like, that's fucking bullshit.
This fucking bullshit. No, what was I saying? Bleach is a good example of a shonen really falling apart because Kubotai really didn't want to write anymore. He was done, but he was popular, so they forced him to write more. And then it didn't. It got less popular because his heart wasn't in it anymore. The storytelling just went backwards, and then they were like, "You have 4 weeks to finish up your manga. Good luck." But I'm in the middle of a saga. Not our issue. Fucking fine.
You mentioned this in a prior podcast. Yeah, that's a really tragic example.
That's just an example where I can excuse the ending. As in, it was bound to happen with the circumstances that were given. So, yeah, no, I think an ending leaves the most prevalent impression on people, but it shouldn't be the only thing that you consider if something is enjoyable, yes or no. But that's definitely the standpoint of someone who watches anime a lot and who makes where this is a true hobby. If I were just some schmo watching some show and the ending would be this bad, I would be annoyed too. Because, that's...
Yeah, totally.
Well,
it's fine to be annoyed.
Yeah, but we look at it from a different perspective. We review, we criticize anime often, so it kind of is in our blood or in our genes to actually compare the entire show instead of what's most prevalent about it. So we're not the perfect target audience to ask this question to.
No.
But that's fine.
We need a guest.
We need some stupid asshole who just watched some anime and has no opinion. Brian! Brian, come on the podcast, you'll enjoy it.
Get Edwin.
Oh god, Ed.
Ask him about his opinions on the end of Evangelion.
Glassed over eyes, takes his phone. Yeah, things are happening. But I think that that's about enough for this one.
That about wraps it up, yeah? Thank you again for joining us today. And next time we will put more R's into the script. More R's into not forgetting our equipment.
Yeah. And
but it might be a while depending on heat waves, health waves,
death waves,
vaccinations,
all that.
Fountains.
But we hope you have enjoyed this particular episode of the Main Protagonist podcast.
Yes.
I was Pettry, and he was
Casper.
And see you next time.
I was a son.
Oh.